you just pluck the screen again? So look who's back now that he's hungry, huh? So hey folks, so if you've been following, Scruffy did not show up last night. And I think it's because I gave him the gopher meal 2 nights ago, and it was probably so much food he wasn't hungry last night. And since he didn't need me, he didn't show up. So it looks like, yeah, he's only here for the food, not the company, not the pets, not the conversation. Yeah. You're meowing now too, huh? So I have your leftover meaty pate super supper and soggy kibble, since I dished it out 2 nights ago. I actually added a little more meaty pate and kibble last night, but now that's soggy too. But yeah, that's what you're gonna get tonight. Okay. So you hissed at me earlier today. I'll talk about my water visit a little later. But yeah, he's not hissing now that he's hungrier, I think. So I'm gonna put the food on the table. And put the glove on. And yeah, it's colder today. Okay, you know the drill. So is Scruffy gonna scratch me tonight? So we haven't done pets in 3 nights now, so you may have forgotten. He may have gone back to being feral. Gone native again. Because, yeah, obviously he doesn't like the pets enough to just come and do them last night. And he was hissy today, which I'll talk about in a while. And I didn't pet him 2 nights ago when I gave him the gopher, because I left the gopher on the mat at the door, because I tried to give it to him earlier while he was sleeping on the table, but he didn't want to get up. And I didn't want to bring the gopher in the house. So I thought I'd just leave it here. So when he got up and came to the mat, he would see it, and maybe he'd eat it, which he eventually did. So I showed the footage, but yeah, when he first, he's climbing up above. So when he first came up here, he kind of looked at the gopher, and I don't think he knew what to do with it. And then he came to the door, and he looked at me, and he just sat down. And then after a little bit, then he started examining the gopher a little more. And then eventually he started tossing it around and throwing it up. And looked like he was playing with it. And then finally, it looked like he started trying to eat it. And then eventually he actually ate it. So nice the headbutts tonight. So he hasn't gone completely feral yet. So he hasn't forgotten everything in the span of 2 or 3 nights. But yeah, I looked for Scruffy last night, so I kept an eye out for him all night, and he never showed up. And I thought maybe in the middle of the night he might come onto the table and sleep on the table like he's been doing for the past week or so, maybe 2 weeks. But I didn't see him. I don't think he ever came up on the table. And the fireworks stopped. As I mentioned, yeah, somebody was lighting off really loud firecrackers for a few hours, and I thought maybe that was a reason why Scruffy disappeared. All the neighborhood dogs, were going crazy because they were setting off these sonic boom type firecrackers. Wow, just trying to climb the live. So they would shoot them up into the air, and then there's like a little puff explosion with like sparkles or glitter. They did it in the daytime, so that's kind of weird. And then after that first initial explosion, like in a second or two, then a big giant sonic boom explosion with a big puff of smoke would go off. And those are the ones that were just really annoying. Because the dogs would go crazy, start barking all over the neighborhood. And one of my neighbors came out to see what the ruckus was. So I was out in the garden, front yard, trying to, so one, I went for a walk, and two, I went to water my front yard, because I just finally finished watering the backyard here. But it took me so long to get around to watering the backyard, I realized it's probably about time I'll start watering the front yard again. So I'm a little worried that I didn't water the backyard enough. But also the reason I wanted to water the front yard was because we're on a watering rationing schedule, and I mentioned in a previous video that my water ration is kind of messed up and kind of unfair. So they based it on previous usage from a couple years ago. So just before the pandemic, or the year before the pandemic, which in itself is probably an issue, but ignoring that, in normal circumstances that actually might have worked out in my advantage, since my dad was still alive and we were using a lot of water for his health reasons. And now it's just me, so I do use less water. But they broke it down by month or week or something like that. And so my water ration for certain months is actually abnormally low. And I was trying to figure it out, and I realized the months that it was really low, like ridiculously low, were, I think, the months that my dad was in the emergency room, basically living at the hospital. And so he had several serious things that required us take him to the emergency room, and he was in the hospital living there for about a month each time. And so basically we were not at the house full time. I would basically, maybe I'd come back here after spending the whole day at the hospital with him, basically to come sleep, and then I just go right back. And so we weren't really doing any living here, so we weren't really using any water. Maybe an occasional shower by me, depending on how grimy I felt. Certainly not watering anything, not cooking, not using the bathrooms, not doing laundry. So I filed an appeal. Still haven't heard back. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I think the next month I'm going to be on the ridiculous ration, which I don't know if I can cut enough to meet it. And if they don't change it, I'm kind of screwed. So I kind of wanted to get the garden water before that month changeover happens. So I was trying to do the watering now, and I was supposed to do my laundry, and basically trying to figure out, any extra heavy water I can shift up a little early to offset the following month. So Scruffy's starting to calm down. So I think he wants his food now. Want your food? You want food? You almost looked at me there. Want your food? So he would look at me when I say food. No? Okay, let's get your food. Okay, here it comes. And this is the first time I'm going to brush him in quite a few days, because I didn't brush him with the gopher. Because, he was kind of defensive when he was eating his gopher. Oops. Oops. So as far as not as bad as I thought it'd be, considering I haven't brushed him in several days. Okay. So, today I was keeping an eye out for Scruffy. And so I didn't see him last night. Didn't see him early this morning when I got up. Didn't see him all morning. Didn't see him at lunchtime. So, he's been in hiding or away. Finally, early afternoon, I saw him out on the deck. So we lost a lot of sun. We lost the sun today, and the weather turned actually pretty cold. We lost probably like 20 degrees or something. So it's back to winter, which it technically is. So we've been having very unwinter-like weather for the last week or so. It's been really nice, but I'd actually prefer some rain and winter weather, mostly rain. We need the rain really badly because the water rationing sucks. Anyway, he was out on the deck, and I saw him from the kitchen window, and I think I actually got some footage, and he saw me, and so he decided to start walking towards the door here, and so he ended up walking over to the mat, and I think, he was trying to get my attention, I guess, and expecting maybe I'd come out. So, it was water time, so I brought out his water, or tried to bring out his water, but he started hissing at me. Hey, Scruffy. So, I didn't see you last night. Oh, wow. Meow. So I got your water. So, I'm going to bring out your water. Oh. Why are you hissing? I put down your water, okay? So it's not my fault you didn't show up last night. Okay, you want a treat? Since you didn't eat last night, I'll give you a treat. But I'm not going to get overboard. Okay, so I'll put the treat here. Okay. So I'm going to go back in. Wow, you're hissy. Can you sit in the chair? That's what I thought. So after gave him the treats, I went back in. I saw him sit here for about another few seconds. Then, he went back to drink more water. And then eventually he kind of walked out of here. So I thought maybe he'd hang around. But I saw him head off the edge of the deck. And so he disappeared again, and I didn't see him until dinner here. So for whatever reason, he changed his pattern, and he's stayed out of sight ever since the gopher. So I don't know if things are going to revert back to normal now. He probably is no longer full from eating the gopher. And is going to depend on me again to give him more regular meals. Or if his pattern change is just kind of unrelated and he's just laying low for some other reasons, maybe the firecrackers or something. But we didn't have any firecrackers today that I'm aware of, so yeah, I don't know what's going on in his bed. So when I was watering the garden last night, or yesterday, yes, it was kind of last night, I did find 2 more gopher holes. So on the other side of the yard, so I think the gopher dug tunnels all the way through the yard from one side to the other. So as I was watering, I tried filling up the holes with water just to see how deep the holes were. They filled up very quickly, and my understanding is gophers are actually really good at designing their holes so water won't get in. So they do something so if water flows in, it will stop very quickly and not go into the main tunnel. But one of the holes then collapsed, and the water just disappeared all the way into the tunnel. And for a little bit, I tried filling up the tunnel with more water just to see how deep it was, and the thing would not fill. So that thing, yeah, went on forever. So I didn't want to waste water, so I gave up. But I shoved in another gopher trap to block it. I'll move the balls for you. Oops. So since I bought a 2-pack of gopher traps and I only used one of them, so I left one of them at where I caught the first 2 gophers, and then at this new hole that collapsed, I put in another trap, and it's I didn't dig up the hole very well, or I didn't really dig it up. I just kind of left it and just shoved the trap in there. So a gopher's going to have to really push the trap if they want to get it out. And I mentioned a few days ago when I first encountered the trap that I had reset, it was actually pulled out of the cave and set off. I'm thinking maybe that second gopher maybe was not originally there and decided to take over the gopher hole since it was vacant. And so maybe he pulled out the trap so he can get in. So that's the other reason I decided to set up the other trap, so that any gopher that wants to move in is going to have to deal with the trap. So it's kind of blocking the entrance now unless they dig. Wow. What's the meow for? So you finished your dinner. You didn't really do a good job cleaning the bowl there. So yeah, you don't get another gopher. I didn't catch any, and really that's your job, not mine. So you've been doing a lousy job. I've gotten 2 gophers, you've gotten none. So I checked the traps today, and yeah, so far, yeah, they don't look like they've moved or anything. So hopefully that means I don't have any more gophers. But I'll leave them set for a little while. I don't think, yeah, I'm not in any hurry to clean them up. I'll just leave them there. But yeah, Scruffy missed out. When I gave him that first gopher, he didn't go for it. And, yeah, he seemed to really like that second one. So he could have had 2, but he gave up his opportunity. And then he could have had a meal last night, and he gave that up too. So yeah, he's not very smart in some sense, and or he really hates pets or me. Because yeah, he'd rather skip a meal when he's not that hungry than have to deal with me, I think. So yeah, it's kind of a shame. I thought maybe it's been like it's well over a year. I was kind of hoping by now he might enjoy my company a little bit more. But yeah, it looks like he's still rather avoid me. Okay, looks like Scruffy's taking off. Yep. Okay, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So, as I was coming back inside, Scruffy ran up behind me and came up to the door. So, I thought maybe he wanted to try to come in or something, but I guess he's changed his mind. Yeah, you probably smell the onions, the garlic. Yeah. Okay. So every time I'm about to close up shop, you keep coming back. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna eat my dinner. So, I gave you your dinner, and you decided to skip last night, so that's on you, not on me. Oh, you're coming back, huh? Yeah? Okay, I'm closing up shop. Okay. Bye, Scruffy.